Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm headed back to Japan. I'll be visiting some familiar places and some that I haven't been to before. And I'm taking you guys along for the ride. There's no greater feeling than touching down at the airport after a long flight, especially if you land at a place you can't wait to visit. I love the scenery outside of the window while traveling from Narita Airport into central Tokyo. For this trip, I ended up staying at Hotel Gracery Shinjuku once again. I've stayed here before, and as a huge Godzilla fan, it's always a fun place to come back to. Unfortunately, the outdoor area where visitors used to be able to walk outside and take pictures next to the Godzilla head has been permanently closed. This is my third time staying here, and I still haven't been able to go outside. The rooms here are pretty standard for Tokyo hotels, but they are comfortable and they are clean. Here you have the famous automated Japanese toilet. Later that night, I headed over to Ichiran for my first meal in Japan. At this point, it's basically become a tradition for me. The next morning, I stopped by Coffee Swamp for my first coffee of the trip. It was one of the places at the top of my list that I wanted to try, so it felt like a good way to start off the day. From there, I headed over to Meiji Jingu for the first real touristy stop of the trip. I'd been there before, but it felt like a good place to revisit. Meiji Jingu is one of Tokyo's most well-known Shinto shrines dedicated to Emperor Meiji and Empress Shokin. And even with how popular it is, it still feels surprisingly peaceful once you're inside the grounds. Along the walk into Meiji Jingu, there's a display of sake and wine barrels that really stand out. They're symbolic offerings to the shrine, and seeing both the traditional sake barrels and the Western wine barrels side by side is a cool little reminder of how much Japan was changing during the Meiji era. After leaving Meiji Jingu, we headed towards Harajuku, but before getting there, we stopped at Henry's Burger. My friend had seen it online and it had been popping up a lot, so we figured we'd check it out for ourselves. After that, we headed over to Harajuku and walked through Takeshita Street. I didn't really film too much while we were there since we spent most of the time just browsing through clothing stores. It's extremely crowded here, especially during the weekend. I did manage to grab a crepe over here though. And in case you didn't know, Japanese crepes are some of the best in the world. Even though I didn't get a ton of footage here, Takeshita Street is still one of those places a lot of first-time visitors to Tokyo will probably want to walk through at least once. Later on, we stopped at Kura Sushi for dinner. It's a conveyor belt sushi chain. I think it's one of those spots that first-time visitors to Japan should try at least once. After that, we walked around Shinjuku for a bit and ended up stopping in a few claw machine spots before calling it a night. The next day, I had a reservation for the Doraemon exhibit. My entry time was still a few hours away, so I decided to head over to DiverCity to pass the time. The first thing I did when I arrived was head over to the Gundam Unicorn statue. If you're a Gundam fan like myself, this is something you definitely need to go check out. If I'm not mistaken, in August of 2026, they're gonna replace this one with something different. So if you get a chance, go see it as soon as possible. While I was there, I walked around the mall for a bit. This is the official Godzilla shop. Just about anything Godzilla you would want, they have it here. This was the Gundam base annex near the Unicorn Gundam on the second floor. There's also a Gundam base store at DiverCity, but entry was being handled through an advanced ticket or lottery system while I was there, so I wasn't able to get in that day. You can pick up a lot of the Gundam souvenirs here, but you can't get any of the kits. For that, you need to get into the Gundam base on the 7th floor of the mall. It was now time for me to head to Tokyo Dream Park for the Doraemon exhibit. It was about a 15 to 20 minute walk, but on the way I spotted a Doraemon themed bus heading over to the exhibit, so I hopped on instead. I did a separate video dedicated to this entire exhibit. If you're interested in watching that, I'll leave a link below. The next day, I went to Tokyo Station and got on a Shinkansen and headed to Kyoto. The second part will continue once I make my way back from there. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.